All right, guys, we are going to show you a little bit today of some of the neck work we do. You see in the background some of the stuff Rocky does when he's starting to get wanting to play. But Joe's going to show you some neck work, and Joe's going to start tilting his head back. And this is what he has on here, and this is this is 4 kilos, so it's 8 pounds. You don't use a lot of weight on this. He's going to tilt back and tilt up. And when he's done with this part of it, I'll show you the apparatus that we use. So whenever you're ready, son. He's always trying to keep his hands to his side while he's doing this, instead of reaching up towards his neck. So he tries to get the thing good and tight and snug on his head. You know, we went down to the gym today and nobody informed anybody that they were going to close because it's Communist Workers' Day here in sunny Colombia, South America. And of course they do Labor Day too. And there's probably 40 holidays, maybe 50 that they do here. And they work everybody like dogs, so it's good that they do have a lot of holidays, but there's so many holidays nobody can keep up with them. How's that feeling, son? Good. I'll try to get it like this. There you go. That strengthened the tension a little more. Well, it tilted back, but it's okay. All right. How many reps you doing? So he's got 3.5 kilos actually on here. 2.5, 3.5. It's 4 kilos. Sorry, folks. So I guess it's a little over 8 pounds here. So we're not going for, you don't want to put such heavy weight on there. You want to get about 10 or 20 reps with this. And Joe, we've neglected this for a while, but when I first got this thing for Joe, he would, and he still does it, but we're not doing it as much as he was. He'll actually lay in the bed and do this. He'll lay on his side and tilt his neck from side to side and from the forward, and then lay face down on the bed and do it, with his head hanging off the bed. And do it from forward to back, back to forward, and get on his side and do a side to side. But we're just going to be able to show you front to back here. And Rocky, you're going to get out of the way, because if this thing slips, I'm going to take that bone and go. Go on, go back there. Good boy. I hate if that thing slipped off his head and fell on our adorable Rocky. It would be awful. So just, if you get one of these things, and of course you can get them, I'm sure on the Everlast site or Tidal, or I forget the name of that MMA. What are those white gloves in there? Monster? Or the MMA brand? Yeah, you do. You'll know it when I tell you. Venom. The Venom brands. I'm sure if you go to those websites, if you're in the US or the UK, and plenty of other sites, and for athletic stuff, you'll be able to find these things. And you want a strong neck for boxing. And some of the time, but it's just very stressful. Well, the majority of the time when Joe's working his neck, he'll get on the floor and lift, lay down flat on the mat with some cushion behind his head, and he'll lift his body up with his neck and his legs. You have to play your legs in that too. Now, he does not rotate his head in a circular motion like you would see with Sonny Liston or Mike Tyson, but he will go straight up and down with it, and that helps build the neck. And you might ask, well, what does that do? And see, I'm not seeing this in boxing gyms today, and I'm going to tell you what that does. It makes you have a strong chin. Some people can take a little harder a punch than the next fella, but the reality of it is he who gets his neck muscles straight, and it's good to chew gum too, to strengthen your jaws, but what it's not good to do is to, so he's going up to 10 pounds on this. What's not good to do is chew sugarless gum, obviously. Now, if you do, you need to, more so than brushing your teeth, you need to rinse your mouth out after you got sugar in your mouth of any type. And Joe don't really eat much sugar. The other day I got him, I don't know, I know in the U.S. some people will be familiar with this. In Western Europe, I don't think so, but Bimbo Bread Company, which is a huge bread company in Mexico, and make excellent bread. That's the bread of choice that we choose even when we're in the U.S. Bimbo makes these they're not snack cakes, they're little cakes like you'd have for, you get together 2 or 3 people for coffee or tea, and Joe sat and ate the whole one. So I had like 3, to serve 3 adults. So, and he don't eat sugar. So when he did, his splurges here and there. He splurged the other day and it tore his stomach. It tore your stomach all to pieces, didn't it? Yeah, he said they almost died. And that's how poisonous sugar is to us, folks. Of course, I didn't have nobody teach me no better when I was a kid. Namely because my dad died when I was little, and my mother would about hand you anything sweet just to ensure you are eating and to shut you up and treat you, because we had some very humbling times, and the one thing she could afford was things from where she worked that were cheap, honey buns and things like that were, when I was little, were like 20 cents each. So she could afford that, and we could pig out on some sweets at the house. But of course, Joe don't do that. Joe gets steak. Joe gets a chicken dinner. He gets good spaghetti dishes, but mostly meat and poultry. And so he gets to eat better, and he's been encouraged by me to eat a lot better. And we thank the good Lord that here in Columbia, the natural things are way more inexpensive. So and if you're living in the U.S. and you're thinking, inflation or bad economy, you guys ain't got a clue, because it's hitting the rest of the world a lot harder. And if we didn't have the people in place that we have today in the U.S., it'd be a lot harder for you folks. A whole lot harder. And just give it time in the U.S., things are going to get so much better. The things that are being done now have been tested since time immemorial in history, and they have always worked. So be thankful to the good Lord you got people in there now that are actually doing things and trying to get things right from doing all the corrupt and selling Americans out to everybody else. There'll be an adjustment period there. It's beyond me why very ignorant Democrats would rather have their own children sit and play with cheap lead toys that get imported from China than someone in their own country in the U.S. actually make, benefit, and reap a reward for working, making the same toy and having a more safe toys and things for their own children. People are really, really lost. And you see, there's no, when he's laying in the bed, he can get more stability with his back to do the repetitions, and it's easier. But you may see him move here a little bit. But when he's laid flat in the bed, that's where, because we don't have a workout table. If we did, I'd have him on a table. But so anyway, if you see him moving a little bit, it's because he don't have the stability of having his back or his chest or his side, if he were going side to side, stable on a flatter surface. So and the neck is very important. These neck muscles, every boxer or MMA guy or competitive martial arts guy should do some work to strengthen their neck. It's one of the most beneficial things that you can do. And Joe does a lot of shrugs as well, and the shrugs work the back part leading into the neck, but you need to work the neck as well. And if you don't work your neck, you're not going to be able to take a good punch. Trust me on that, folks. And it's beyond me why in these boxing gyms they are not having every single person that is competing doing some type of exercise to strengthen their neck muscles. It's beyond me. I can't fathom it. Well, it's also beyond me that I don't know if I had to put a number on it, but of course this would literally be a guess, but maybe 60 to 80% of the gyms out there, the focus is on defense. They're more defensive minded than they are offensive minded. And we don't play ball that way. If we were a football team, we would be Air Coryell. We would be the late 1970s San Diego Chargers, where we're just going to throw the ball right down your throat every chance we get. You gain as much yards every play, not setting up for nothing on the football field. That would be what we do in our boxing. And of course, there's different philosophies. We do a lot of defense, but it's not, we're not doing it 80% of the time like most people. Well, yeah, and I don't know if you heard Joe in the background because I got this mic on, but Joe said we're not in the business of, he's not in the business of running away, he's in the business of chasing people down. And we got it going on so much, we can't even get sparring, people to come sparring. You know, there are some Americans, they come down here, especially in the heavyweight division, mind you, that come down here. Promoters will send them down here. And they'll have 3 and 6 round or 6 round pro fights with these guys, and they'll completely demolish them, and then they'll go back. But a lot of these fights are paid off, and we've got several people on our YouTube where a lot of these people in the Florida area and Texas area have sent or brought their fighters down, and they fought in Medellin, as we say it in the U.S., or Cartagena or Barranquilla, and but you know, I suppose if I could offer some of these big guys $1,000 or something, which I can't do, but if I could, I'm sure they'd get in the ring with Joe. A lot of fear when Joe comes up around these gyms. A lot of fear. And basically 0% of it admitted. But we know there is, because when Joe goes into a gym, they want to start talking about brain damage and hospitalization, and they're not willing to risk either of those two things.
Train with us, but don't fight us.
Yeah, train with us, but don't fight us. No, they couldn't win an Olympic boxing medal if their heart depended on it as a country, and that's the primary reason why. Had this country turned the boxing over to me 3 years ago and let me run the national program here, they would have gotten more medals than the one that was gotten for the U.S. team, which sucks. And the U.S. Olympic team sucks as well because there's no heart. And newsflash to all you gym owners out there and all you trainers out there, you are the guys that train these people. So something is lacking with you all that think you're hot shots and you're all this and all that. So it's a combination of weak boxing gyms, weak-minded trainers who don't have a lot of backbone and heart. Yeah, I say it, and I say it in public. Why can I do that? Because ain't nobody going to do nothing about it. You know, I should be in fear to say this, but I'm not. I'm in no fear to say this, but it should be that the training in the boxing gyms are lousy. They are totally lousy. And when Joe gets back to the U.S., you're all going to see that we'll be in boxing gym A, B, or C, probably going around the better part of 2 or 3 states, and you're going to see nobody will want to. They're going to want to take it. Heart, you know, everybody's got real strong hearts and backbones of iron till something stronger comes along, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And it's offensive. It is. You know, weak people, not strong-hearted people, not so backbone people, they don't like being told the truth. And so, you know, if this doesn't apply to you, don't get offended. If it doesn't apply to you, you'll understand what I'm saying, and you'll agree with it. So just a lot. But anyway, the gym was closed today, so Joe did some more reflex bag work, and we did some pad work and some other things, and shadow boxing and whatnot. So we've had 2 easy days in a row here, so we're going to have to catch it up tomorrow to bring in the weekend. And but Joe was like, you know what, Dad, I'm going to do a decent little neck workout. So we thought, I was like, hey, ain't nobody stressing for the neck muscles, so I figured we'd get on there. But we do stress for working your neck. So anyway, around here, you're going to get a lot of strong talk. Don't let it offend you. You've in the fight game, you got to have a lot of heart. You got to be a very strong person, and you got to have confidence. And I want to tell you, folks, don't conflate confidence with ego problems, because probably 95% to 98% of the time, especially in the fight game, confidence gets mistaken for egos, and you got to have a lot of strong confidence. You got to have a strong ego as well, which has confidence wrapped all around it. But you have to have a proper ego. You got to be willing to back up anything that you say. It was the great Muhammad Ali that said, "It ain't bragging if you can back it up." So we're bold and confident like that, and we'll continue to be so, because we have a lot of respect for the work that we do around here. So we want to tell you we love you. We hope all you guys have a great week. I'm going to finish this like I always finish these videos. Christ is our King, our Lord, and our Savior around here, and we hope He is around where you are too. Have a good week, everybody.